Namaskar, greetings and gratitude. I come back with another personality today, and it is episode number 77. And today on the hot seat with me is Dr. Narjeet Kaur. How are you, doctor?
I am absolutely good, and it is truly a joy to be here. It is truly a joy to know you. So it's my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine. I'm honored, ma'am. Ma'am is a positive and proactive principal and an accomplished educational leader with a proven track record in curriculum development, faculty training, and strategic leadership. That is so good, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, ma'am, you have authored books, but to my surprise, it is not only of the English subject.
Yeah.
You have authored computer books as well. Please tell us about your love for different subjects.
I would love to share that. Actually, my love for different subjects stems from what do you say, a deep curiosity and desire to connect with students in ways that are more meaningful and relevant also. So languages have always been very close to my heart because languages are powerful. Languages allow you to express, to connect, to create. But at the same time, it has been it increase, a passion actually to stay currently with the world, and that's where computers and digital literacy came. And I see both languages and technology as tools of empowerment, because English as a language, or any language for that matter, teaches expression or critical thinking, and computers and coding, all of that equips the students with the skills needed for 21st century, for the future. So I really wanted to create content that bridges both traditional values and say modern skills. And authoring books in both these areas has allowed me to reach students of different interests and help them find confidence in their learning journeys. So teaching computer science, and I have taught computers, ITC, computer science, all of that, and English at the same time. It felt like I was juggling fire. I was spinning plates. One moment I was exploring the works of Shakespeare, Robert Frost, Amrita Pritam, and the next I was explaining to them how binary code works, or writing also, authoring also for that matter, or helping all of us with computers. So it was chaos, it was chaotic, but it was a lot of fun. The chaos was a lot of fun, and I genuinely enjoyed every bit of it. So I still remember once during a lesson on metaphors, a student raised their hand and asked, "Ma'am, is this like coding for feelings?" That came as a real surprise to me. I really paused for a while and I started laughing, and the class started laughing with me. And I said, "Exactly, literature is like emotional coding," and but that really. Stuck with me. That was a very beautiful moment wherein it made me realize how children are intermingling and seeing two subjects come together so beautifully. They had incorporated it and they gave me inspiration to keep on doing that as well. So this is how the love of languages and computers come in me.
So sweet. Nice. Thank you. Ma'am, I always knew you as the principal of a Delhi school. But seriously, it came to a surprise that you are a principal at an African school. How did this happen, ma'am?
That surprises a lot of people, Preeti, still. Even after 2 years of working here and being out of Delhi for a while, out of India for a while, it still surprises people, because most of India knows me as an educator like you, or a Google person from India. And that chapter, trust me, Delhi is very special, very close to my heart. India is, that chapter is very close, very truly special. But sometimes life leads you to unexpected places, as we say. So the opportunity in Africa came quite suddenly. I didn't go looking for it. So I say in many ways, Malawi always chose me. So there was something about the possibility of working in a space where I could make a real impact, and I felt really drawn to it. At first, it was a big leap, leaving my family there. I was going to be on my own. My family couldn't join me for various reasons. And then new culture, new systems, a whole new environment. But like I said, I saw it as a chance to grow, to learn, and to contribute in a meaningful way beyond borders. But when I arrived here, from that moment onwards, I don't actually believe in the concept of regrets. You own your decisions. But this decision has been very close to my heart and a beautiful decision I took. When I arrived, I actually saw it all, the warmth, the humility of the people, the deep respect of the culture, and this beautiful blend of tradition and energy. And like I'm going to repeat myself, like I said before, that's very when it really hit me. I had made the right decision. So being here has really helped me grow, not as a professional, but as a person. It's one of the most enriching and meaningful parts of my journey so far, one of the most beautiful expat experiences I've ever had. And Malawi is going to be very close to my heart. When I leave this place, when I leave this school, when I leave this country, I'm going to leave a big part of my heart here. It has been that beautiful. Like I said, my best ever expat experience. So that is what Africa does to you, spoils you with its beauty, with its raw
Beautiful, ma'am.
nature.
Lovely. This is so lovely. Ma'am, what is the difference between an African school and an Indian school?
Ah, that's really interesting. And honestly, one I have always thought about a lot since moving around here also. At first, I assumed schools in Africa and India would be very different, completely different. But over time, I have realized that while there are some differences, I think the heart of education is the same everywhere. Usually, we see in Indian schools there is a very structured pace. They are very fast paced, a very strong focus on academics, competitions, results, and the parents are more involved and they have high expectations. And the students grow up in an environment where performance and achievement are given a lot of importance. You and I both know that. There's also a long tradition of schooling. And one thing I would say about it, there are well established systems, exam boards, wider access to learning resources, coachings, extracurricular activities. In Malawi, at least the schools I have worked in Africa also, this approach is a little gentler. There's a beautiful sense of community here. People are warm, people are respectful, welcoming. Students are eager to learn, but education is often just not seen as a race to the top, but as a shared journey between the parents and the teachers and the students. And what touched me most was when I arrived was how students truly value their learning. They are grateful for every opportunity, and despite having fewer resources than India compared to the schools in India, they are curious, they are open minded, they are hardworking. And another difference I would say is in infrastructure and exposure. Of course, many African schools in developing countries like Malawi are still building up their systems when it comes to technology wise, library wise, or access to specialized teachers. But the intention and the passion is to grow is very, very strong. In India, these things are much more established, already very, very established. But you know what is the most beautiful part, Preeti? Children. Children are children everywhere. It's a classroom in Delhi or in Blantyre. They want to feel cared for, they want to be heard, they want to be supported, they want to be encouraged, they want their ideas to matter. So, as teacher or principal, our roles everywhere across the globe is same: to bring out the best in them, to guide them, and to make them feel that they truly belong. So, it has to be a child first approach. Anywhere in the world you go as a teacher, an educator, or principal, but there are differences. Of course, there are. Sometimes there are glaring differences, but the similarities also remind you that education is a universal language, a truly universal language, and children will be children with the same growth mind, being naughty, being mischievous. Everywhere they are the same, only the intensity is a little different here and there, but they definitely are the same. And the most beautiful part of this education system.
What about the language, ma'am? Did you ever face any problem with the
No,
language?
English is very well, largely spoken here. So I never
Okay.
felt, and it is an international school, so the The teachers are there are international teachers from around the world, and even the staff, native staff, is English speaking. But I did learn some Chichewa here, which is their local language. And can I say Zikomo, Preeti, for calling me here, which means thank you in Chichewa.
What should I say? My pleasure.
Yeah, you can say whatever. I don't know beyond this now.
Nice. This is so nice.
So,
But I will
but
also learn this word from you. Thank
yeah,
you.
Zikomo.
Okay. Good. Great. Ma'am, your reading of research paper talks about your love for the English language. You've already spoken about it.
Yeah.
But please tell us something more about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Um, it's kind of you to have gone through the research papers that I have uploaded. And yeah, it's true. My love for the language runs deep, and reading research papers was just one more way to explore that love further. So ever since I was a student, I have been really fascinated with the power of language. My father gave me that. He was also very fond of reading, very, very fond of reading, and he would make me sit with him and read stories to me, read books to me, make me read stuff. So, and the more I read, the more I realized that there's nothing more beautiful than a language, because that's the way to express thoughts, tell lots of stories, understand the world better. So I remember how even a simple poem could make me feel so much, or a short story could open up a whole new perspective, whole new world for me. And as I grew older and went deeper into studies, I just started reading research papers, not because I had to, that was not a part of my curriculum earlier, but just because I was genuinely curious. I wanted to understand how language works in the brain, how children pick up new words, why we feel something when we hear a certain phrase, or how writers from different cultures use language in different ways. And these papers really, really helped me look at language not just as something that we can use, but also as a living, breathing thing that evolves, that connects, that influences people across the world. So this interest in research helped me a lot as a teacher also. When I became a teacher first, and then I started showing my interest, more and more in research. So it helped me find better ways to teach grammar, to explain poetry, to make literature more enjoyable for the students. So instead of just teaching from the textbook, I always try to make students feel the language. I was an English teacher, so I always try to make them feel the language, understand the music, the power, the emotion of the language. Even now, I find joy in reading about language. I love reading. I love reading. Um, it could be a new article or a new study on how children learn to speak, or how literature can improve empathy, or it does keep me connected to what I love most about education, that is helping students not only um, learn, but also make them fall in love with the language like I did. And if I'm able to achieve that, that will be a well, that will be accomplishment as an educator for me. Yeah, so that's beautiful.
That is beautiful indeed. Ma'am, how have you seen the role of educator evolve over the period of time?
Oh, tremendous changes. A quick way. I really enjoyed. I just go into the past when there was so much happening with us in the classrooms when we were students. And I understand the role of educator has changed so much over time. When we were taught in the school, the teachers were the main source of knowledge. The classroom was very formal. That's the blackboard. There you are. I am the teacher. I am the one who's going to speak, and the students would listen, and you would take notes. And you are not encouraged to ask too many questions. And the focus was mainly on discipline, which is debatable always. What discipline is? We focus on discipline or memorization and doing well in exams, which still is to a bit, but then it was way higher. And that's how many of us grew up learning, respecting our teachers deeply, but not always having a voice in the classroom. I remember my teachers, the best ones were those who allowed us to speak in the classrooms, who asked us what you feel about it, what you say about it, how are you going to approach this problem. But today the things are very different. So the Role of a teacher has evolved from just giving information to guiding to mentoring, even learning alongside students. So there's so much of information. Like I said, as a computer teacher, and there's so much of information through the internet. The teacher is no longer the only source of knowledge. Instead, we help students to think, um, to learn, to understand how to use that information. Chat GPT gives them everything, even more than what the teachers can give them in their class. But how to use that information wisely, where to use, how much to use, where to bring in that kind of information, that is what the teachers are actually helping them do today, and that is how it should be. Back then, emotional well-being, mental health was hardly talked about, but now it is a very important part of our roles. We are not only teaching subjects, we supporting the children emotionally, helping them build confidence, resilience, character, and technology. How can we go on mentioning without technology, without mentioning technology here? That has also completely changed the classrooms. When we were taught, it was a chalk and the blackboard and the textbooks, but now it is a lot of things: classrooms, digital classroom, digital tools, smart panels. Um, and as educators, we have to keep learning to stay connected to our students and teach in ways that make most sense in today's world. So, yes, the role of a teacher has definitely changed. But one thing that has changed exactly the same over the years, at least for good teachers, at least for the teachers who I can say are actually educators, our job is still to inspire, to care, and to help children believe in themselves. That's the heart of education. No matter the time, no matter the place, no matter India, no matter Malawi, UK, wherever, the only job educators should have is to inspire children, to care for them, and um, to make them believe in themselves, to make them believe that they are worth something and they can achieve whatever they want. And those dreams should never die, come what may. And I also have a set of beautiful teachers here, all of us, same goal. I always, wherever I have worked as an educator, principal, it's always the same goal. Please make children the hub of education. If they are something we need to focus on, they matter, and everything else can fall in place after that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that is the thing.
You mentioned Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what do you think? Is it good for children? Should they go to it?
It depends. It really, really depends. I mean, you can debate it to another level. We can have a lot of chat regarding that. We can have a lot of chat regarding whether chat GPT is good for children or not. How are we going to measure it? How are we going to measure the sense, the knowledge, the information that it brings for the children? How are we going to see whether what kind of information children are getting from that? It can be helpful to a point, but also potentially problematic on how it is used. Or one more thing that will really, really, maybe, if I can say, as an argument, for an argument's sake, who is guiding the use and what is the content? If teachers know how to guide the students, then it can help them. But if they are going inside without being without having to know the balance of the breakdown, then it can get difficult, at least for smaller children or the teenagers. So, to an extent, we can ask them to use, but are we guiding them properly on how to use and what kind of content, how to build on the knowledge that you are getting from ChatGPT also? So, that is also one thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely correct. Yes. Chat GPT, how it is to be used, if guided well, it's a boon.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. So, ma'am, slightly different question now. How do you pass your time at Africa on holidays? And how often do you visit India,
So
your
living in
family?
Malawi, well, has been a very beautiful experience. I can't get tired of saying that. It has been a beautiful experience, and over time, I have found my own little community also. Of course, being away from India, from your country, from your family, isn't always easy. But I have been lucky to make amazing friends here from different parts of the world. I have grown very close to people from from Pakistan, from Britain, Turkish families. It's been a rich cultural exchange, and we share so many stories, celebrate festivals together, and most importantly, they have accepted me and made me a part of their family. Um, and I'm never going to be more grateful for what they have done for me, because I was on my own here, and I will always be indebted for that. They have we support each other like family, but they really, really have made me a part of the family. And if people are listening to this, and if they are going to be here, my teachers in the school have done a lot of support for me. My colleagues, the people who are part of SLT. Um, I think we have had a beautiful time working together, and as a family as well. So we often plan weekends also together, whether it's a simple drive to the safari, or a long weekend to the beautiful Lake Malawi, or a nature trail, just or actually relaxing lunch somewhere with a beautiful view also. I mean, everything is amazing. Over longer holidays, we sometimes just explore more of Malawi, which is incredibly beautiful. And these small adventures make the experience even more special and help break the routine, because you have to work very, very hard, and that does give you a pause. Nature pauses that experience for you. So when I'm not out and about, I do spend my time reading or training for Google, and just enjoying the quite beautiful sunsets here. Malawi has this calming energy. Something about the pace of life and the kindness of the people really helps you slow down and reflect a lot. I do visit India once or twice. I have since last 2 years. I have visited India thrice, all depending on school schedules. But those trips are also very special. Nothing compares to being home with my daughter, the homemade food, chole bhature of Delhi. Nothing beats that. Nothing can beat that. Catching up with my friends there and just soaking in the love and familiarity of it all. But all that said, I feel very grateful for the life I have built here. It's a mix of cultures, beautiful friendships, meaningful work, and personal growth, even. So, even though I am far from home, I have created a little world that feels so warm, feels so fulfilling. But I always miss my daughter. If she's going to listen to this, I always miss her. But yeah, she's
Sure.
the one who encouraged me to take up this opportunity. So I hope I have done a good
So
job being
nice.
here.
So nice of her. So do you cook there for yourself? I'm sure.
Oh, I never cooked in my life. I don't cook.
All right.
In
So
Delhi
what about
also,
the vegetables and everything? So you get the similar things there.
oh yes, yes, you get everything here. You get
Mm.
everything. Of course, Malawi has its own set of struggles, but
Mhm.
if you set your mind on how, or if you look at one side of the country which offers you so much, you can get over those struggles very easily. But you get vegetables very easily here. Although I am a vegetarian, so this place is a haven for people who are non-vegetarians though. But I also find my own set of food here, beautiful, nice restaurants, cafes, and they do serve vegetarians as well. Initially it was very difficult for me, but now that I have found my places, I have adjusted well.
Yeah, 2 years is a big time,
Yeah.
definitely. So it's so wonderful. So when I contacted you, I was seriously not aware that you're not in the country. You are away. And
I
so
hope
nice of
now the rest of our group knows that I am.
sure people will watch the podcast and come to know where are you right now.
Yeah.
Yes, you have always been recognized as from Google. So that's
Yeah.
where I met you first time also,
Yeah.
when you were taking your classes on gag.
Yeah, a
I
lot. We have done a
I
lot
joined
together.
that course with you.
Yeah, and Google has given me a lot of recognition in India. A lot
Uh,
of recognition, yeah.
okay, so same thing you are carrying with yourself, I'm sure, there as
Oh,
well.
yes.
All the best to you, ma'am. Take
Thank you
care.
so much. Thank you so much. It was lovely seeing you, and I'll catch up with you when I come back over the holidays. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
So
you.
nice of
Have a
you.
good day.
Thank you.
Have a good day and have a great weekend.
Yes, same to you. Bye. Thank you, my dear audience, for being with us in this lovely conversation today. I will come back with another personality who has inspired my life. Thank you.
Thank you.